What's up, guys? This is the gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. Hey, buddy, eyes over here. I'm having fun with this new camera, guys. You got to bear with me. I'll figure it out. Until then, it's got me. I got the giggles. Listen, guys. Anyway, let me share something with you guys. I want to talk to you guys about hip hop's most legendary industry plant, Snoop Doggy Dogg. Yes, you guys might have heard about Snoop Doggy Dogg. What was it? Last August. Remember last August, Snoop Dogg, he made a bold statement regarding the Buzz Lightyear movie that he went to go see with his grandkids. Yes, grandkids. And at the time, what Snoop Dogg said was, I guess, well, let's read this. It was a It's Giving podcast. And Snoop said his grandson had asked him while he was watching the movie how Alicia was able to have a child with another woman. Snoop Dogg said, "Oh, ish, I didn't come in for this ish. I just came to watch the G damn movie." The rap legend recalled thinking, "It effed me up. I'm like scared to go to the movies now. Y'all throwing me in the middle that I got no answer for. These are kids," he added. "We have to show that at this age. They're going to ask questions. I don't have the answer." Now, of course, at the time, everybody praised Snoop Dogg for saying what was actually true. And at the time, I remember saying, listen, man, Snoop Dogg is an industry plant. This dude is never going to say how he actually feels. He's not allowed to say how he actually feels. Mr. Murder was the case that they gave me. Ever since then, as a matter of fact, guys, let me tell you something. When you see your favorite rapper get busted for murder, for drugs, for guns, or something like that, and he gets out of jail for something that nobody else, that you or I would not get out of jail for, chances are that rapper is now on the take. He's on the hook for the rest of his natural born career. He is now an industry plant. And I knew from back in the day, murder was the case that they gave me. From back then, I knew that Snoop was no longer to be trusted. And listen, guys, I bought Snoop Dogg's music. That's my era of hip hop. You know, Death Row, all that good stuff. But let's face it, it is what it is. And so, months later, things have changed. Now, that was August that I read that statement. Now, what do we have here? Ah! Oh, God, I should have warned you. Yes. Snoop. Ooh, yeah, it's been a rough life. Anyway, Snoop is coming out with a new TV show, I believe it is, geared towards children. And it's called Doggy Land, man. Doggy Land. Yes, yes. And what it is, right, is I'm going to read a little bit to you here. It says here he's partnered up with queer artist Jeremy Bilote and Glad to support LGBTQ plus children after receiving backlash over his remarks about a trans couple in Disney's Buzz Lightyear film. Snoop also went on to express he made a "Love Is Love" song for children. A love. This is that dude. This is yeah, and you don't stop because it's 187 on the undercover car. Now all of a sudden he's doing "Love Is Love." I know he's old. He's a grandfather now, but I'm just saying this is ironic as hell. All right, so let's see what Mr. Snoop Dogg has to say. Kick it, Snoop.
Love is Love is a record that my kids program, Doggyland, presented me. Where it's the song where it's teaching love is love, it's teaching parenthood, it's teaching the situations that kids and the world is going through right now in a beautiful way through song, dance, melody, and just trying to get more understanding, clarity on how we live and the way we live. And I felt like this music is a beautiful, bridge to bring an understanding.
Boy, his handlers Martha Stewart must have rolled up on him and been like, yo, Snoop, nah, you ain't doing that. Get down on your knees, boy. You can't be saying how you feel. See, this is the thing, guys. Never envy celebrities. Okay, never, especially like superstars, those who have achieved that status where they're like up in the stratosphere somewhere. Because these people, man, they're no longer allowed to be who they actually are. They're no longer allowed to have their own views. They're no longer allowed to be individuals anymore. Guys, don't take for granted your free thought, your free will, and your free speech, your ability to be able to say how you feel and stand on your principles. Because what you're seeing here is a biatch. You're seeing Snoop Dogg after saying how he actually felt. You're seeing him now have to take a knee because he's in the industry. The industry owns him. His name is Snoop Dogg, but guess who's on the leash? Guess who's getting walked? This guy.
This is a program that we've been doing for years where we involve kids, and these are things that kids have questions about. So now hopefully we can help answer these questions and, help them to live a happy life and understand that love is love.
I don't know if you know this, but I was a nanny. And
You see it? Death Row picture. Dude, man, who would have guessed back in the 90s that this would be what Death Row has come to? This is Death Row, man. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Nate Dogg has got to be rolling in his grave. Nate Dogg would never be like, me and my second dad, we were rolling down Crenshaw. It wouldn't be none of that, bro. Regulate just has a whole new meaning right now. But anyway, this is what we're looking at, guys. This is what we're looking at. Let's hear about the nanny. We ain't talking about Fran Drescher.
New York? No, you wasn't. You wasn't no nanny. You probably was letting the kids do whatever they want.
I sure did. Yeah, I sure did.
Would you let this man be the nanny to your children?
But I had like 8 jobs, and
Were you Jamaican? Because I have 3 jobs.
Well, I had 8, and one of them was
That's very funny, Snoop. That's a callback to In Living Color, I think it was.
being a nanny, and it was to 2 dads. And I had, I grew up in Tennessee, so I had never really seen that before. And I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I'm in New York, and but they had one son named Malcolm, and I was his nanny for about 2 years, and we formed a really big bond. And I was like, I don't know what I can possibly do for these 2 dads.
All right, anyway, all right, you see what's going on. The 2 dads, yada yada yada. Shout out to Don Lucre. I got this off his X page. Okay, so anyway, guys, you see what's going on here. Snoop has been whipped back into submission, and I just think that it's sad, it's funny, it's ironic, it's all that good stuff, guys. But you got to recognize the agenda that's going on here. Yes, the A word. I said the agenda. It will not be denied. It will not be stopped. And Snoop, much like Eminem, guys, you might remember, what was it, like 10 years ago or something like that? Eminem got checked also when he said something deemed to be offensive against the LGBTQ plus community. And the next minute, he's singing with Elton John. Don't let your sun go down on me. Remember that? It's scary how these people own these other people. But there it is, guys. Right? But yes, the agenda. The agenda is not to be denied, guys. And you might remember a couple of months ago, Barack Obama himself was talking to Black men, talking about Black fathers and how you need to have your sons have a gay friend, so that they may check your father. Like, this is an actual agenda. You see it, guys. You see it over children's programming all over the place. It won't be denied. It won't be stopped. And I have to ask, why? If this is such a natural thing, why do we have to go through all of this, right? So anyway, let's look at something here. All right. So, oh no, that's not what I want to look at. Let's look at here. All right. So anyway, yeah, I already talked about that. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. Because we got Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis is weighing in also about his gay son. Like, look, this is all well and good. This is not to be anti-gay and all of this stuff. I'm just wondering, why are we so heavy-handed, especially, guys, in the Black community? Like I said, you have Barack, you have Snoop, you have Judge Mathis. Listen to what Judge Mathis has to say now. Listen to this.
respectfully, can you walk me through that? Your son revealing to you that he was gay?
Well, at age 18, when he was leaving high school.
By the way, Dwayne Wade also, Marlon Wayans also, sons becoming daughters, daughters becoming sons. It's nonstop. Anyway, Judge Mathis.
Going to college, where he knew his life would transition outside of the family. He let us know and went to college and went to work in Congress, worked at the U.S. Senate, and we encouraged and embraced him at all times. And when he moved to Washington, D.C., which was a great gay-friendly town, I thought he'd be able to live his life, because it's a horrible thing to try and live a life that's not you. You know what we say, keep it real, be who you are. And so pretending to be somebody you're not all your life is a horrible thing.
All right, so I imagine that what he's saying is true. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to deny the validity of what he's saying. I'm only here to question what's up with the push. Why is this happening? And then they want to boast about the number of gay people, the number of trans people who are increasing out there, as if, especially when it comes to children, as if the power of suggestion is not in play, is not in effect here. But I want to show you a couple of other things real quick, guys, because this is encompassing everything. Like, here we have a little boy. This was at a WNBA Phoenix Mercury game, and the team invited a 7-year-old genderless child, which appears to be a boy in makeup, dressed as a little girl, on the court to dance and perform during the halftime show. How is this legal? All right, check it out. Looks like the kid might be Asian. It just goes to show you this is something that is encompassing all of us, men. Like, we all need to be looking at this, guys. I don't know how healthy this is supposed to be. I know we're supposed to be celebrating this, but I think in 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to look back on these days and be like, actually, what the F, bro? Really? You know what I mean? Let me show you one more thing before I bounce up out of here, just to bring it home about just how deep this is. Right now, I see this here. It says, mother holds her son down as he's injected with puberty blockers. I don't know that she would have survived male puberty, she says. I don't know why it's dark. Let me see if this plays.
Dr. Olson had a decision.
You are in the perfect place to start on blockers.
And she promises to begin giving her estrogen, female hormones, in 2 years.
Around 13. That's what I think. Yes, you're not going to develop breast buds on the blockers, but...
So the kid is about maybe 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. This is a boy, okay?
You're not going to wait until 16 to start. You know that, okay?
Josie received the blockers as an implant in her arm. It's okay, it's okay. So
she's being injected. He's being injected in his arm, some type of implant to block puberty.
With all the bravery she could muster, you're going to feel a little bit of a... Josie held on tight. Ow! As another chapter opened in this young girl's life.
Oh, and we're just supposed to be celebrating this. Guys, listen, man. I don't hate anyone, right? Everyone has the right to pursue their happiness. But dude, who do you not see in this video? Like, where's the father? Like, I assume that's the mother right there who's holding her down, who's holding him down. Got me all confused here. Holding him down while he's getting this chip injected into his body so that he won't go through his natural change into puberty.
A lot of times it strikes me that had this happened just 20 years ago,
Thank you.
I wouldn't have been able to give her blockers and she would have had to go through male puberty. That
Oh no, anything but that.
terrifies me. Sultan, do you want a hug? I don't know that she would have survived male puberty.
I don't know that she would have survived male puberty. People survive male puberty every day, all day. It's natural. What's not natural is taking some type of shot, some type of man-made shot to prevent the body from doing what it naturally does. The question is, will he survive this? Will he survive this with his mental, emotional makeup intact? This is something that a lot of people, and I talked about this on the other video, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about the ramifications that comes from the self-doubt, that comes from the trauma of knowing that you're supposed to be one thing, but you're something else where you meant to be that. Like, you're too young to process that. When you're this age, when you're like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, you're still developing, you're still learning. But these people can't wait to take their man-made pharmaceuticals and their man-made shots and witchcraft and all types, yeah, I said it, witchcraft, and all types of unnatural, unholy stuff, and take these children. Like, this is awful, man, in my opinion, anyway.
Dr. Olson.
Okay, anyway, all right, there we go. All right, so let's stop that there. All right, let's get back to my dancing camera. And listen, guys, I just showed you a lot of things. All right, it's your turn to get into the comment section. Let me know how you feel about all of this. You know, like, what's behind all of this? You know, Snoop is just a symptom of a greater disease. Like, what's going on out here? You see, no one is spared. I just showed you the black angle. I showed you an Asian kid. I showed you a white kid. Like, fathers, we have to be present in these children's lives. We can't be afraid to stand up and to speak up about our concerns. This isn't about denying these children happiness or peace of mind or anything like that. This is about protecting them when they're at their most vulnerable. There's got to be another way. That's my opinion, guys. You can sound off in the comment section. As always, I'll be there checking you out, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember, like, share, subscribe. That's all I got to say for now. Thank you. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel, according to Mark with a C. Rock on.